This is part 2 of creating a progress invoice. It's important to watch part 1 to know where we are continuing this process from. Now we'll move down to the invoice details. You'll see that it's pulled in the schedule of values plus that added change order here. You're going to see here that since there was a previous pay application, this item was showing 65% complete, and this one down here is shown at 45% complete. What we want to do is invoice for what we've completed during this particular pay period. We go to the first line and say this is 20% more completed. It's going to come out to $18,000, and then we can add a stored material at our discretion. This then calculates how much is left to change for this line item, and then how much retention has already been pulled out. This is that 10% that we talked about earlier. We can then hover over the information icon here and get a more detailed breakdown of this particular line item. We can bill a retention on this by checking this box, and it would just add that to the invoice. But in this case, we want to wait until the very end of the project. Again, based on what was completed for this pay period, we can figure out what the rest of these are that we want to bill. This one was done 10%. This one's done 50%. 30% there, 10% on this one, 30% on this one. And this change order is 100% completed. And that breaks that all down. Now let's say I want to charge $20,000 this month for this particular item. We're going to go ahead and change this to $20,000, and then it will recalculate the percentage on that there. So all that being done, it gives you the total breakdowns of this invoice here. If I were billing the retention for all of these now, I could just go ahead and check this box to bill all the retention. But since we're waiting until the end of the project, I'll leave it unchecked. And then we're going to get the project financial breakdown in this section. That may seem a little confusing, but this is just the traditional way in construction invoicing. It's broken down where it's going to give us the original contract amount, the changes by change order, the new contract amount, the total completed and stored to date, the 10% retainage, the total earn less retainage, minus the amount that we've got from the previous applications, gives us our total for this billing. All that looks pretty good, so we can go ahead and save that. In part 3, we'll cover the details of sending the invoice for client approval and payment.